Hello, everybody. The name's Fitchett. Oscar Fitchett.
The name's Bradshaw. Gary Bradshaw.
I don't know why it took you that long to say. Anyway, we're kicking off our Bond review thing. If you missed the heel cast, we did. Probably. We did explain that we were like leading up to Spectre. We were going to watch and review every Bond film, and so this is our review for Dr. No, which came out in 1962, and this is the debut for Sean Connery. And the plot of Dr. No, according to IMDb, is a suave and skilled government agent named James Bond looks for answers about a missing colleague and the disruption of the American space program. So let's just get right into it. Gary, what are your thoughts on Dr. No?
I liked it,
Yeah.
but I didn't love it.
Okay.
It was very draggy. There was a lack of soundtrack, which I didn't like. You know what I'm like with my soundtracks.
I do.
There was a few good Bond cues in there, but there should be more. I don't know who did the soundtrack for this movie. Something Barry, whatever he's called.
Barry White.
Not Barry White. For a 1962 film, it was beautiful.
Oh yeah, it looked good. There
It
was
looked
some.
beautiful. Well, we watched it on Blu-ray, so you could tell it was shot by on film. Oh yeah, it was a bit of a little reveal in the movie. The Spectre moment. I was like, I didn't get that the first time. Well, obviously Spectre wasn't even released. Well, wasn't even.
It wasn't like
announced.
by the time.
But when he said Spectre, I was like, oh crap! There's lots of possibilities what could happen in the next movie. Sean Connery was decent as Bond. Very well casted.
It's a dated film. I'm not going to say that it holds up well. I'm not going to say that.
Not now.
Because some films do hold up, but I mean, I'm not going to say that the blinking projection screens while Bond's driving. I'm not going to say I buy it. I'm not going to say I don't buy him actually driving.
you got to think about.
You do, but I'm just saying it doesn't hold up. I'm just like there are films like Dial M for Murder and Rear Window, which were 50s films, and those hold up. Dr. No, as good as the film as it was, because I do like the film, it doesn't hold up well. I prefer the older versions of the Bond theme to the newer ones. I don't know, there's just something more about that bombastic, just orchestral. Every time Bond's just being Bond, the theme comes up and it's goes dun 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 dun. It's like, yeah, we're getting into it. We're gonna get some cool stuff happening. I love the introduction of James Bond, because not only was this an introduction to Sean Connery as Bond, this was the introduction to Bond on the big screen, and the fact how you saw him playing I think it was poker, some sort of card game, with his hands, and then it moved up to see him just line a cigarette. It's like Bond, James Bond. Connery just oozes cool. Like Connery is just, for me, Connery's the best Bond. I think he's just perfect for the role because he's cool, he's suave, and he can fight. You believe that this guy could beat you up in a bar, as well as you can believe he can take your girlfriend. And yeah, I do understand what you mean by pacing issues. There are a few pacing issues in this film, and I do think that is because of how dated it is. Like, it is pretty slow. I think this is like a lot with espionage films, though. You do need to concentrate on certain phrases and what is being said. You can't just turn your brain off with a Bond film or an espionage film or a spy film. You need to actually concentrate, you need to focus on what's being said, otherwise you'll just be lost. I think the cinematography was really good in this film. There was some shots that really stood out in this film. As I said, when just the reveal of Bond that sticks out in my mind. The sort of reveal of Dr. No was really cool when the door opened and you just saw his shadow. And I was like, that's cool. And you don't see him, but you see his hands, and it's pretty menacing. And there's nothing mind-blowing about the story or how the film turns out. You know what's going to happen. Bond's going to save the day. He's going to do this. He's going to make it out of a sticky situation. You know what I mean? With him just being cool and everything. Just just like just lay a blanket under another blanket, just wait and play blinking. Blinking
solitaire.
Blinking solitaire, and then when you hear the guy coming in, you get the gun ready, comes in, gives a little speech for a bit, and then just shoots him. That's, you know, and there's moments like that that just make this film, just because you're like, yeah, Bond, and I think it's because of Sean Connery's performance within this film, just of how cool he is, and just how badass he is in a way, just the fact how he just does things just, you know, nonchalantly, and just like, yeah, I did that. Some of the action scenes, yes, this is an old film, but these were actually pretty good action scenes in the film, like when Bond flipped the dude, it was like, whoa, that was actually pretty insane, and some of the punches felt like Bond just punched a dude. It was like the action for its time was actually pretty good, and I can imagine so many people in the cinema in 1962 just like, whoa! Just like, oh my god, the car exploded, where now explosions are a regular thing. Michael Bay. One thing I really did like about this film, Bond wasn't invincible. He got the poop being out of him in some places. Like, he was, like, yeah, during the beginning, yeah, he's skilled, he's a skilled agent, he knows what he's doing, he can fight, he can do all that stuff, but he also gets beaten down. You see that he's actually a human, like a moment like that which specifically stood out to me is when he dropped down from the vent after being burnt and being through the water and everything like that, and his hair was all mucked up, his shirt was all ripped, he had like a blood stain. It was like, damn. Well, apart from Sean Connery as Bond, I don't think really many actors stood out as much. There was like 3 Bond girls within this film. There was one who was in the beginning who was like who Bond was playing cards with. He was like, hey, I'll meet you later tonight then. It was like that all he did was that. Another one was the Asian woman who spat in his face. And then and then the other one was this what was it? Honey Rider. That was Honey Rider.
Nice chick.
We better get used to those really
cheesy names.
Those really big,
very
stupid Bond girl names. No one else except for Sean Connery really stood out that well, I don't think, which was a shame, because I mean, even though, yeah, this was definitely Connery's film, but I mean, it would have been cool to have some supporting roles in this film that you're like, that was a good actor. Even Dr. No was pretty underdeveloped. He was, at the end of it, there was this big build-up to Dr. No. Like, he's this evil guy, blah, 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 he's got this dragon, and everything like that. And then it turns out he's just like, I want to blow up America. Which I like how they send a Brit to solve the American problems. But yeah, overall I liked the film. I wouldn't say I loved it, but it was an enjoyable film, I feel. Apart from some draggy points where, I mean, you know, it's 1962, but I mean, at some point, you know, it doesn't hold up as much as I would like it to, except for the action scenes, which are really good, surprisingly. Like, when they do happen, it's like, oh yes, I'm actually watching a fight, you're not watching a choreographed thing. It feels pretty legit and everything. And the way it kind of plays out like a mystery was really cool. The way it opens, like before, like, not the intro, but just instantly, bang, just the 3 blind men, just instantly, you are instantly invested into it, which, I mean, it's like, oh, what's happening? And then from then on, it plays out like a mystery, mixed in with espionage. And I enjoy the film. Again, I don't love it. But yeah, and it's getting really dark. And just all of a sudden. So yeah, overall I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the film. It's good if you want some classic, just 60s Bond stuff. And yeah, but overall thoughts, Garen?
Good movie. Like a soundtrack, good cinematography. That's it.
Also, I also feel if Connery wasn't in the film wouldn't have been as entertaining.
Yeah, I would say.
If Connery wasn't Bond in this film, it wouldn't have been as entertaining as it was. Just because of how the quick, like, little smarky lines he just said and the little one-liners and everything. Sean Connery is the thing that makes this film more entertaining.
This is the darkest review of ever done.
I know, it's ridiculous. It was light at the beginning. I need to open the blinds.
What you need to do, you need to skip from the top to the bottom. See how dark it becomes.
Yeah, I know. Right, guys, thank you for watching our first review in our Bond series. And
it's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. We're going to get right to From Russia With Love after this. And yeah, links are going to be down below for Twitter and Facebook to everyone in the Heel crew, including Gary's Words of Wisdom Twitter, the Wisdom Guy 1. And yeah, until next time, guys, we shall see you later, and goodbye!